when Chris Summer launched her sustainable clothing brand Encircle almost a decade ago, she wanted to make products that were planet friendly and social fair. It wasn't easy. Fashion has grown into three trillion a year. So it's largely built on the premise of buying cheap and sell cheap and changing with the season. It's called fast fashion. The fashion industry is notorious for exploiting labor and environment. Toronto-based Encircle Inc. is a certified B Corp, meaning it has a third-party assessment of the company's social and environmental performance for raw input materials to worker wages. Encircle clothing and accessories are produced in Canada with 75% of biodegradable materials. Using sustainable materials and maintaining low carbon supply chain added layers of challenge, stress, and cost. It definitely adds complexity, but I think it has been worth it, said Ms. Summer, whose company is part of what is known as the slow fashion. Finally, I'm starting to see people interested in the why behind our values, which is exciting, said Ms. Summer, as climate change action becomes increasingly more important to consumers and communities. Ms. Summer persistent is saying up. Encircle, which sells directly to consumers, right now it's online only, saw a double-digit growth on last year, even though it was a pandemic. As climate action becomes increasingly more important, consumers and corporations, Ms. Summer persistent is paying off. Encircle, which sells directly to consumers, as I said, has a very big challenge in competing with fast fashion, since it costs 10 to 20 times more sustainable products to be produced. But cheap and cheerful apparel could be headed for a reckoning. Fashion industry profits saw a 90% decline in 2020 with the ongoing pandemic. In that time, consumer changed. It says, fashion leaders will need to overhaul business models that exploit people and the planet. The fashion industry is responsible for 10% of annual global carbon emissions, which is almost the same as all international flights, as well as shipping and that's the opposite direction of the reduction of targets set in the United Nations Paris Agreement on climate change, which is to limit global warming to below 2 Celsius, and it will be best if it's just 1.5 Celsius. They have a long way to go, but most industries do, say Corey Stromberg, president of Vancouver-based Stromberg Consulting, which is an expert in corporate sustainability and social responsibility. Canada lags other countries, but believes that change is starting to happen in the industry. The industry is not alone to go, Ms. Stromberg said. You cannot do this one company at a time. You have to do as a section or a level, as a whole industry. The federal government, which is the host of the World Circular Economy, has declared some important roles to play. First, you need to set a regulation in carbon pricing. Second, it can handle companies with a financial and tax incentives to decarbonize and innovate. For example, the European Union is funding a circular economy initiative called the New Cotton Project, where all the textile products will be recycled. But I'm running out of time. Clothing resale is one of the fastest growing segments of the fashion industry. Right now, the second-hand apparel here in the United States market is forecast to reach $64 billion by the middle of the decade. The report says that second-hand goods are expected to grow up to 70% in the consumer closet, which is contrasted with the 3% in 2009. Fashion industry needs to stop dithering Mr. Wilson's name. It comes down to business and individuals making decisions to act and fight for progress, not perfection.